Hello. What if I say English alphabet is incomplete, or I can say it is incompetent, or sometimes powerless, or I can say it. In short, it doesn't have or doesn't possess all the functions or options that it should have. Mm, we'll discuss this thing. Before that, I would like to tell you that this video I'm making primarily for the students whom I have been teaching nowadays, but it would definitely help all those people who are struggling with learning the English language. Let's start. I would like to share my screen. Just a moment. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, fine. So today's topic is phonetics. Phonetics is a very important part of speaking English, and not only English, any language you speak, you need to have a sound knowledge of phonetics of that language. Since we are learning or we are talking about English, so today's discussion, whole discussion would be around the English language. Before I start the main topic, that is phonetics, or what is phonetics, I would uh, like to begin with some words. Let's have a look at a few words. um, like the first word here is blood, and the second word bloom. Okay, so the pair of words you can notice. I will give a number of words. Next word, but, and then put. Again, though and through. Next, plow and enough. Next, women and mole. Again, hat and ball. Again, thanks and that. Now, I hope you already have noticed that in each pair, each word has uh, one or some letters in red color, and in both the words, those letters are same in a pair. If you notice the first pair in blood, double O gives the sound a, but in bloom it gives the sound oo. Similarly, in but and put, in but u gives the sound a, but in put u gives the sound o. In though, o u g h gives the sound o, but in through, same letters give the sound oo. Now again, in plow, o u g h, they give the ow sound, plow, but in e n o u g h, it is a. And now, see here, in women, the letter o gives the sound e, women, e, but same letter o in mole gives the sound o. Again, in cat, a gives the sound a, and in ball, b-a-double-l, a gives the sound a. See again, thanks, t-h-a-n-k-s, the letters t and h together give the sound th, th. But in that, THAT, same letters gives they give the sound the. Now the question is, of course, you have many times you must have heard that English is a funny language. Right? So sometimes I think it really is. Now see, uh, I said that English in the beginning. I said the English language, the English alphabet is sometimes incompetent, powerless. Now, in the sense here, you can see that in these words, suppose blood and bloom, uh, if you when you pronounce the word, right, it is clear, you can make it clear that in blood, double O give the sound a, but in bloom, double O, they give the sound oo. Okay, it is possible only when you speak. Suppose you are making someone understand, right? Then you have to practically speak, let that person hear you, and then that person will understand the difference between the sound. But what if you have to write these sounds? How would you write? How would you differentiate? In this case, English alphabet lacks the option. We do not have, really, we don't have any option to write the sound, the proper sound of, words, right? Phonetics is, uh, it revolves around this fact. We'll discuss more. Let's see what is phonetics. Now, if you ask me, phonetics is, I would say, it's a subject, right? A subject like any other subject, like history, political science, or math, science, or physics. Phonetics also subject, but it is the subject of sound, speech sound. Now, if I clap like this, it produces sound. If you can hear, I can hear now a dog is barking somewhere. That is also a sound, right? Maybe it is not audible in the video, but I can hear. Or if you talk about some other sounds, like sounds coming from drums or a running car. Phonetics does not consider those sounds. It considers only the speech sound. Fine. Only the sounds which are spoken by human beings. Fine. It is phonetics. Now, when it comes to phonetics, we have to have very clear knowledge about these four things, and we should have the knowledge about the distinctions between these four things in front of your screen. The first one is pronunciation, then accent, then language, and dialect. Okay, maybe you have some idea, or maybe you have very clear idea, but again I'm repeating that these four things are very different. What is pronunciation? Now, pronunciation is the sound that we make while speaking, or while delivering words through our mouth. Okay, so it is the way in which we make the sounds of words. Next comes, now you have to understand different between these things. Pronunciation is the way in which we make sounds of words. Accent is the way of pronouncing words. Find how you are pronouncing your words. And pronunciation is the sound. Pronunciation is the sound, and accent is the way you are pronouncing your words, because maybe a word uh, a word pronounced by you, it can be different if it is pronounced by someone else. So it is the difference between the accent, right? Then language. Language is uh, a system of communication shared by a group of people, right? Maybe a country, maybe a community, fine. And dialect is the the uh, the variance in a language or of a language, fine. uh, Especially in Indian subcontinent, if you notice that uh, even even after every 10 kilometers you will see that there is some difference in the language spoken by the people, fine. The language is same, maybe it is Hindi or Bengali or any other language, it is same, but after every 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, you will see bit something is different in that language, in tone, in the delivery system of the words, okay, and sometimes in grammar also, right? So they are dialects. I hope these four things are clear to you. Now I will give the idea about these things, and then we'll come to phonetics. Now, these things, the pronunciation, accent, language, and dialect, they cause problems also sometimes. When they cause a problem, these pronunciation system, accent system, and language and dialect, they all have their own way of delivering sounds, delivering speech, right? Um, every language has its own grammar, has its own style of saying things, own style of pronouncing words, fine. And when people from a different language try to speak each other's language, there is a heavy um influence of their mother tongue or regional language, fine. uh, you must have noticed that if I talk about India, someone who is from Kashmir, uh, and if she or he speaks English, it would seem a bit different to people who are from Tamil or Punjab or from Bengal, and vice versa. Right? Right. And then here comes the concept of neutral accent. Okay, neutral accent is you know using an accent that would be understood by everyone. Right? Suppose if I speak English and I am from Odisha, or from Assam, or from other countries like Australia or Canada, Africa. If I speak English, my English should be understood by everyone around the world. And for that, we have to follow an accent, a proper accent. Fine. So it is something that is globally understood. Now, why neutralization is needed? Because if we don't follow neutralization, we would not be able to communicate properly. Fine. Like we try to speak something, and the other person with whom I'm talking, that person would be in confusion, or that person would be asking again and again that what I'm trying to say. Fine. And that's why you will see that people, maybe if you are from Africa, you might feel uh, difficulty in understanding English spoken by people from Australia or New Zealand or other countries. Why? Because there's a lack of the knowledge regarding uh, regarding the neutral accent. Fine. So let's see how to neutralize our accent. Fine. So why to neutralize our accent? I think it's clear now. How to neutralize our accent? Fine. Number one, we have to follow the international phonetic alphabet. Now I'm coming to the point, phonetics, right? I will discuss in details about international phonetics alphabet. uh, Next point is listening to native speakers. Listening to native speakers. If I want to learn some new language, we really put emphasis on this fact that we need to hear from the native people, local people of that particular language that we want to learn. Right? Many people learn English and they completely ignore this fact, and it is, I think, a big issue, or a big barrier, you can say. Since we have internet, we have device all the time with us, so we can nowadays very well use these modern technologies to uh, to listen to the native speakers. If you want to learn English, then of course listen to the native people who speak English, whose mother tongue is English. Fine. You can watch movies also; they are helpful because uh, you will get all type of talks styles in a movie, because movies are supposed to be complete in all aspects. Then after that, if you can develop some style of speaking the foreign language, you can record your own voice and then listen to it. It will be very helpful. And after that, you can go forward and speak with your friends, with other people. Right now, I will come to I will come back to IPA, or International Phonetic Alphabet. What is International Phonetic Alphabet? Right, our main topic of today is phonetic, and so all these things that I have discussed till now, they are, you can say, the background or the context. Now I'm coming to the main thing, that is phonetics. IPA, it stands for International Phonetic Alphabet. Now all the languages, they have alphabet, right? Like English has an alphabet, um, uh, Urdu, Arabic, Hindi, Sanskrit, Bengali, all these languages have their own alphabetic system. Right? Alphabet, what is alphabet? The uh, uh, the combination of all the letters available in a language. Right? Now, in English, we have learned that there are 26 letters, right? And all these letters together are called alphabet. Just keep in mind that we have to now for some time forget about the English alphabet and your own alphabet of your mother tongue, and then we are going to learn a new set of alphabet, and the name of the language, I'm using the word language here, like Hindi and Urdu and other English and Bengali. Here, the name of the new language that we are going to learn is International Phonetic Alphabet, right? International Phonetic. Now, I said it is an alphabetic system. Here, the purpose of this alphabet here is a bit different, right? The alphabet of English or uh, Assamese or Bengali, they have the purpose of forming words, right? We form words with the letters. Here, the purpose of IPA is a bit different. The purpose here is, the aim of IPA is to represent the sound of a spoken language. Okay, it might give you some confusion, but wait, everything will be very clear. Just be with me. Now, obviously, the scripts would be different than other alphabets, but by chance some scripts can match with maybe with Bengali, with English and other language. Mainly the scripts are taken from Latin language, but some Greek sources and other sources are also found in IPA. Fine, there are total 44 unique sounds. Now, look at this here. You all know your mother tongue's alphabet. You all know your English alphabet. Now, this is how IPA uh, IPA looks like. Okay. Now you can see that some symbols are here very unknown. Some are strange. Some are completely new. Fine. And now we will discuss about this thing. Let's move forward. Before I again go deep into the phonetic system, we need to understand the problems coming out of the English uh, word forming system. Fine. There is, you see, always spelling versus pronunciation problem. What we uh, what we see on the paper sometime during reading, what we see, we do not pronounce that thing, right? For example, here, uh, read these words. If we read these words letter by letter, then they would be like, the first one is debris, tomb, then almond, then super fast, then breakfast, then language, then colonel, gauge, Wednesday, and rendezvous. Right? But I hope most of you know these things, that all these pronunciations were incorrect. Why? Because it is not debris, but it is debris. Right? It is not tomb, but it is tomb. It is not almond, but it is almond. Now see, super fast and breakfast. Uh, it is the sound fast, F-A-S-T, is common to both, but in the case of super fast, it is fast, super fast. But in the case of breakfast, it is breakfast, first, not fast, right? So what we are seeing, what we are reading by letters, we are not pronouncing. So we see one thing and pronounce different thing. And this is the problem with English language. Now, see, even the language is not language, but it is language. Right? It is not colonel, but it is colonel. It is not gauge, but it is gauge. Right? And it's not Wednesday, but it's Wednesday. And it is not rendezvous, but it is, you can see the pronunciation here is rendezvous, right? Rendezvous. So by now maybe you have come to understand the fact that English alphabet uh, does not have does not have the capacity or power to represent the exact sound of a word, and to fill this gap, to solve this problem, here comes IPA. Because through IPA we write down the sounds. IPA is the visible representation of sounds of the words. Now uh, uh, this is a related thing here, that articulators. Now, what is articulator, or what are articulators? This is also important because when we produce sounds, when we produce sounds, we need some clash, we need some friction, and then some sounds are produced, right? Similarly, when we say something, uh, there are some friction or clash or conflict between some parts within us. Okay, if I say ba, so there's a touch between two lips. If I say uh, like ka, so the back sides of our palate and of our tongue, they touch each other, and the sound then comes ka sounds, right? And those parts are called articulators. They are the vocal organs, right? And they are many, right? And here in the picture you can see that in producing sound, all these things take part, like our lips, our teeth, our velum, our palate, our vocal cord, right? All these things take part, and they are called articulators, right? Now remember, these things will be required in the next slides. Related to phoneme, related to phonetics is phoneme, right? Now, what is phoneme? Uh, Phoneme, it comes from, I mean, it is related to sound. This is the smallest unit of a language. Now, what is unit? Like if I'm in a room, I'm in a building. If I break down this building, then the smallest unit of this building I would find out would be the bricks, right? The small bricks. Fine. So here, all languages, like what I'm saying now, they can be broken down in sentences, in words, and then in syllables, and then the smallest sound, like answer, like ka, pa, ba, la, a, I, o. They are the smallest sounds. The piece of sounds, they are called phonemes, right? There are a total 44 phonemes, and uh, till now we knew that there are 26 um, letters. Fine, there are only five vowels, but from now onwards we have to know that there are 20 vowels and 24 consonants. But the difference is uh, um, they were vowels only, but here they are vowel sounds or phonemes, consonant sounds and consonant sounds or consonant phonemes, right? We will talk more about these sounds. Let's move forward. Now we'll discuss now about the vowel sounds or the phonemes, right? Now we knew that there are five vowels A, E, I, O, U. But did you know that these vowels can be used, or can produce more than one sounds? Like I gave the example in the beginning, of cat and a ball. In both the words, the letter A, the vowel A, is used. But in one case, in the case of cat, A gives the sound A, and in the case of ball, A gives the sound O. Right? Like this, one single vowel can produce more than one sounds. Fine. So there are five vowels, right? But those five vowels can produce many sounds. Fine. And those vowel sounds can be divided into two categories: monophthongs and diphthongs. Now, how many sounds in total, I mean, in vowel sounds, and what are the classifications, I will discuss now. Fine. Okay. Monophthongs are single glide sounds. Fine. See, these are the sounds coming out of five vowels, right? Here on the left side we have short vowels, and on the right side we have long vowels. Fine. So first read the vowels on the left side. First one is I, as it is, as it is used in the word pin. I, pin. In English, it is very short. The sound I is very sound. Pin. English. Business. Right. Then next, here you can see, I will mark them one by one. It was E, and then it is A, very small, short. A, bed, head, bed, exit. A, small, very small. Then we have A sound. A, cat, bag, apple, black. Cat, bag, apple, black. A sound. Then we have a sound. A, very small, like in the, the, very short. A. Then you see women. A. Then banana, 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 the sound here. Fine. Then we have u sound. U. Look, could, and cushion. Then we have o sound. O, like clock. What? Then because. Fine. So all these sounds here, all these six sounds, they are very short, small. Fine. Now come to the right side. They are relatively longer. Right? Here, this one. Like cut. Cut. It is not it is cut. Then come. Then mother. Right? Then it is a bit longer than the earlier one. Girl, longer and wider. Girl, burn, word, and heard. Right. Next one is again a bit wider than the earlier two. Fine, wider and bigger also. Car, art, heart, half. Then we have long vowel that is called o, or, board, door, and small, o sound. Then we have e sound, e. Now you can see the distinction between I and E. Here for E, there C, B, people, not people, it's people. Then receive, receive, receive. Then we have oo sound like two, blue, fruit, food. Fine. So here in total we are getting 12 sounds. These all sounds, all these 12 sounds, they are monophthongs. They are monophthongs. Here you can see uh, just a minute. Here you can see they are all monophthongs. Fine. And they are single glide. I'll tell you what is single glide and what is double glide. Fine. Now go to the next one. Diphthongs or double glides. Okay, these are the diphthongs or double glide. Now the first one here is E, and the combination, and it is the combination like E and I, like E and I, not E and I. The pronunciation, it will help you. So let's pronounce these words. T-A-K, it is take, it is not take like in Indian subcontinent. People uh, tend to pronounce this word as take, but it is not take, it's take. The next pay, then wait. Fine. So there is a glide from one to another. A, A. A is one glide, another glide is E. A, take, take, right? Next one is I. Five, sigh, height, by. Another one is oi, like noise, right? Then boy, lawyer, fine. Next you have oh, 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 no, right? Road, seal, broken, O sound. Next come we have ow sound, round, the noun, doubt. Then ear sound, hear, dear, dear, and fears. Then air sound, care, air, mare, and prayer. Then we have oor sound, poor, ensure, tour, and more. Fine. So here in total we get 8 sounds. So monophthongs, 12 monophthongs, and here 8 diphthongs. So in total we are getting 20 vowel sounds or vowel phonemes. Fine. Let's move to the next slide. Place and manner of articulation of vowel sounds. Now it is very helpful, and it is uh, for those people who have no clue that which sound comes from where. Right? Okay. Now imagine this is the shape of our mouth. And this is the shape of our mouth, a rough shape of our mouth. Now, which sounds come from which part? Now, read the things that are written around this image. Like on the left side here, you can see uh, front is written, right? Front, then central. Now, front means the front of our mouth. Central means central of our mouth. Then the back, that is inside it, within the on the back, at the back of our mouth, right? Now when we speak, our mouth takes many shapes. Sometimes it's closed, sometimes it's open. So read these things here on the left side on the top. the close, and then half close, then here half open and open, sorry, then here open. Fine. Now we will discuss one more thing here regarding the shape. Round, some sounds are round, some sounds are round. That means our lips are round, and some in some cases our lips are spread, like E, O. Fine. Now discuss the uh, letters one by one. If I pronounce the word, if I pronounce the word uh, E here, E, E, E. Now see, if I say E, it is coming from the front of my mouth. It's coming from the front of my mouth. Fine. And my mouth is closed. My mouth is closed. E. Front and close. E. And also this sound is lips are now unround. E. Lips are spread unround. Now step by step the shape will be changed. Now it was E and it is E, E, E. Then come to this A, right? A. Then A. So our shape of mouth is getting from closed to half open to completely open, right? Read the words here. Heed, then heed, then head, then had, right? From E to A to A to A. Now come here on the right side. Ooh. When we pronounce this word, ooh, it comes from the back of our mouth. Ooh. Fine. And then the lips are rounded. Ooh. Fine. But mouth is closed. Mouth is closed here. You can say it is closed. Ooh. Then come to another sound here. Ooh. The next O. Then A, and then ah. Fine. So while pronouncing these words, also imagine that from which part these words, these sounds are coming. Right now, pronounce the words shoe. From the back of our mouth, then the lips are closed. Fine. And sorry, lips are round and the mouth is almost closed. Then put, then saw. One by one our lips are getting from half closed to half open to half to completely open. Now it is hard and then hard, hard, hard. Now in this case the mouth is completely open. Fine. Hard. Now come here to these three sounds here. Fine. This one then and then okay, they are coming from the middle of our mouth. As in the case the bird, as in the case bird, and then cut. They are coming from the middle of our mouth. Okay, so you need to practice these things more and more to master the concept of this thing. And moving forward, Now here comes the consonant sounds. Till now we were discussing vowel sound and now consonant sounds. Let's see, uh, in consonant sounds we already knew that these B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. These are the consonants, right? How many consonants? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Right? 21. So here in consonant sounds, obviously, the number will be bigger. Why? Because some letter can produce more than one sound. Like in the case uh, G. G can produce sounds like Jin in the case Gin, or Google, G sound in the case of Google. Again, like C can give you the sound like cat and also cell, right? Uh, so, as in the case of vowel sounds or vowel phonemes, it was divided into two categories like monophthongs and diphthongs. Here we have voiced and voiceless. Okay, some sounds are voiced. Voiced means when you pronounce those words, you get some vibration here. Like if you say ba, ba, you are getting some vibration here. But if you say like ta, 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 you are not getting any vibration. Fine, so it is voiceless. Now I will show you the complete chart. See the symbols of these consonant phonemes, right? Right. So this is the list, complete list of consonant phonemes. We fortunately some letters are sorry, some symbols are matching to the English letters. Fine. Um, so see here. Um, how to read these symbols? Okay, they are not like A, B, C, D. We have to read it in a different way. Like it is pa, it is pa, pa, it is ba, it is ma, it is fa, it is wa. Now next, this symbol is not a matching to our English letter. Fine. So it is, the sound is sa, 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 like thank you, sa. Again, next we have a different symbol. Maybe we are not knowing this symbol. Uh, Here, the sound is the, as in the case thy uh, or they, fine, or that, the. Then we have ta sound, ta, ta, then da sound, then na sound, then sa sound, then z sound, right? Then we have a ra sound, la sound. Here again getting a um, new sign. It is sha. It is sha. In the case of shy. Okay. Then we have za, like zebra. Here azure. Fine. Then we have this is new one. The just a minute, some disturbances there. Let me share the file again. Okay, so I was talking about cha. So ch sound is um, shown in this way. Fine. Then we have j sound. Then this looks like j, but it is not j sound, but it is yo sound. Yo, like your beautiful, cute you sound. Then we have ka sound, ga sound, and then we have a new sign again, new symbol. It is called unga, unga, like in the case of gang, gong, bring. Okay. Then we have sound or ha. Then we have wa sound, right? Wa, why, with, word, a word. Fine. So these are the 24 sounds that exist in phonetics. Fine. Again, like we learned the place and the manner of articulation of vowel sounds, now we learn the place and manner of articulation of consonant sounds. Fine. Here, if you see that in this line we have a place of articulation like this, place of articulation, and here in this case we have in this way we have manner of articulation. Fine. Manner of articulation. Fine. Now let's see. If you remember your own mother tongue and the alphabet of that mother tongue, you will see that some letters or a set of letters are coming from the same place. The sounds are coming from same place. Like in case of Hindi, if you say that ka, kha, ga, gha, or cha, cha, ja, jha, the sounds, the set of sounds, ka, kha, ga, gha, all the sounds are coming from a same place. In the case of cha, cha, ja, jha, all the sounds are coming from same place. Fine. Similarly, in IPA also we have this occurrence. Here, pa and ba, you can see the two here, pa and ba. These two letters are bilabial. Bilabial means touching two lips. Fine. Bilabial. They are voiceless. P is voiceless. Say pa, pa. There is no vibration. But if you say ba, there is a vibration. Fine. This is the difference between voiceless and voiced. Now, coming here, ta sound and da sound. Okay. So ta and da. So it is touching your palate here, and alveolar sound, and one is voiced. The da is voiced and ta is voiceless. Again, velar, that is back of our mouth, velar, right? Ka sound and ga sounds, they are produced from that part, ka and ga, and ka is voiceless and ga is voiced. Then we have fa sound, fa. It is by labiodental, fa, fa, and then va. Fine. Labio, that means lips and your teeth. Fine. So fa is voiceless and va is voiced. Then we have dental sounds. This one, tha, and then the. Fine. Then again we have sounds like sa and za. Fine. Voiceless and voiced. Then we have sha, voiceless sound, sha, and another one is ja, ja, ja. Between sa and sha and za. Fine. It is ja, ja. Then we have ha sound coming from the glottal. Then we have cha sound. This is cha and this is ja, right? Ja is voiceless and ja is voiced. Then all these nasal sounds are voiced. Ma, uh, na, and ma. All these are having vibration. Then these two sounds are called liquid voiced, uh, liquid, and they are voiced, la and ra. Then we have wa sound and u sound coming from the same place. So they are the place and manner of articulation of the consonant sounds that you have to remember. You have to pause video, you have to remember all these things. It might take hours, it might take many days, but you have to remember these things to master the pronunciation of English language. Fine. Now see here. Uh, the till now what we have learned, if I say that the summary of this of the lesson that we have discussed till now is like there are um, uh, total 44 sounds or 44 phonemes. Fine. 24 consonant sounds and 20 vowel sounds. Fine. Now in consonant sounds, 15 are voiced, that means having vibration, and 9 are voiceless. Fine. Now here in vowels, 12 are monophthongs or pure vowels and 8 are diphthongs. Fine. And um, let's see if here you have to stop and practice again and again, because after this slide, like um, here, let's see what is there after this slide. We will do some phonetic transcriptions of some sentences, not word, right? Sentences. These slides right now would be very tough for the beginners, because all the teachings today in this video is for um, uh, the beginners only. Fine. So, and the beginners, as beginners, we need time for practice. So we need to practice those things that we have discussed till now. And here on this slide, we have phonetic transcription. And let's see whether you can recognize some of the parts of these transcriptions or not. Transcriptions, phonetic transcriptions of some sentences. Now, can you read this thing? I know that it will be very difficult, like, but still, if you can, let's try. What are here written in phonetics? Sorry, this is same word. Fine. So what is written here is this is I. The first one is I. See whether you can do it or not. It is I. Then next is am. Next is am. Then the next is trying. Again to. Then learn. Then it is learn. Then phonetics. Fine. Phonetics. So it is I am trying to learn phonetics. I am trying to learn phonetics. Fine. Let's go to the next slide. Here another sentence. Let's see if you can. So I'm reading it. I have given different colors to different words. So the first word here is the. The first word is the. The second word is distance. The distance between Kolkata and Delhi. by road is 1,469 kilometer. So again, reading it, the distance between uh, Kolkata and Delhi by road is 1,469 kilometer. Fine. So you have to practice it to learn how to read sounds, phonetic sounds of uh, words and sentences. Fine. Now, next, see if you can read it. Here, what is written here? See, uh, can you read phonetic transcription? Can you read phonetic transcription? Okay, the answer we get here. Oh, can you read the answer? Can you read the answer? Yes. Of course, I can. Okay, so depending upon the position also, the meaning, the pronunciation gets changed. Here, if you have noticed that, the word can, C-A-N, here it is can, but here it is can, right? So pronunciation also depends on the position that where you are putting the word. Right? Now, if you can remember that if you go to find a meaning of a word, particular word on dictionary, then after the word and before the meaning, something is written, and those writings are like these symbols. If you remember, like these symbols, right? They are actually, you can go now also, you can pause the video and go now also to check any word in dictionary and see whether these things are given or not. You will see these things are given within two slashes, like this, within two slashes like this. Sounds are written within slashes. Fine, within slashes. So that's all for the beginners about phonetics, but it is not the end. What you need the most is practice. Fine. If you um, uh, give importance to your spoken language, if you want to sound like a pro, right, you need to take extra caution of these phonetics stuffs. Fine. If you do not give importance to phonetics, then your English should be sometimes like people will laugh at you. Fine. So anyway, I'm ending here, and if you are looking this video on YouTube, you must be watching this through my channel, which is El Dorado. If you wish, you can keep it subscribed, because I sometimes put these videos, and you will get to know new things if you follow the channel. Okay, bye bye, thank you, all the best. If you have some questions, you can ask me in the comment section. I will try to provide your answers. Thank you for watching the video.